Hi, I'm David Muerle with Coldwell Banker Capital Gateway, and today I want to talk with you about pricing your home appropriately for when you want to sell your home. And this is really important because the price that you initially offer your home at has a dramatic impact on the final price that you get for your home. And the reason for this is buyers are concerned with days on the market. And what that indicates is how long your home has been sitting on the market. And if the buyers notice that your home has been sitting on the market longer than the normal time it takes to sell a home in your marketplace, their willingness to make an offer at all is impacted, and if they do make an offer, they typically will make an offer for less. Now, many of my sellers will say, well, if it turns out we overpriced the home, we'll just lower the price later. And that's great, but the problem is you still have those days on the market to contend with. And what we find is that if a home has been on the market for a longer than the normal time it takes to market a home in your marketplace, even if you have lowered your price at this point to a price that's very appropriate for your marketplace, the buyers are willing to offer less because there's a perception in the buyer's mind that your house is not worth what you're asking for it, even after you've lowered the price. So the initial offering price is critical to getting top dollar for your home. The buyers look at a home that's been on the market too long and they feel it's shop worn. And a shop worn home is a home that they're willing to offer less for. So initial price is critical. Buyers are waiting for your home to come on the market. And the result of that is the most interest that you'll get on your home typically is in that first couple of weeks that you have it on the market. And oftentimes the best offer is the very first offer that comes in. So don't be worried that you underpriced your home if you get a really great offer right off the bat. That means your realtor did their job and is bringing you a great offer. So how do you go about choosing the right price for your home? Well, you're going to look at what's sold in your neighborhood. First of all, you're going to look at the active homes in your neighborhood. Those are your competition. That's what your neighbors are doing, and that's what the buyers are going to be looking at too. So you want to put a keen eye on what is currently available in your marketplace. Then you also want to look at what's pending. Pending is really important because it's proof that price was appropriate in order to get an offer on that property. Now, we don't know what the buyer actually paid for the home, but we do know that price is appropriate in order to get a home sold in that neighborhood. Then we're going to look at the ones that have actually closed escrow. Those are the sold listings. And those are important because we've got all the statistics. We know exactly what concessions the seller may have paid, like did the seller pay for closing costs in order to attract a buyer? And we know the exact price they got for the home too. And we're going to look at expireds too. We're going to look at people who are unsuccessful in your neighborhood, people who marketed their home and gave up, either because they mispriced the home or because it wasn't marketed appropriately. And then you're going to compare your home to the competition. Now, the trap sellers like to fall into is they like to think that their home is the best in the neighborhood. But you got to look at it from the buyer's perspective. What is a buyer willing to pay for the amenities that you have in your home compared to the homes that have sold in your neighborhood? And it's very easy to over-improve a home for a neighborhood. A good example of that is a swimming pool. You will spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on installing a pool in your home, but when you go to sell it, it only improves the value of the house by, say, $10,000 or $20,000. Another way people over-improve is they add on to the home and make it twice as large as the neighborhood homes. Well, your home value is based upon others that have sold in the neighborhood, and you're only going to get the value for your house based upon the largest home that's sold in your neighborhood. So it's easy to over-improve in that way too. I've even just recently had a person who told me, well, my house is worth more because I spent $17,000 on a new furnace for my home. Well, I'm sure that makes the home more comfortable for you, but buyers aren't going to be willing to pay $17,000 or $20,000 more because you brought this extraordinary system. Now, recently I did sell a home that had a solar system on it, And because not a lot of homes are sold with solar systems, I was skeptical as to whether we are going to get a lot more money for the house with the solar on there. And we did. We got $25,000 more for the house. And then when the appraiser came out, he gave us $25,000 more for the house because it had the solar system in there. So some improvements buyers are definitely willing to pay for, others they're not. And your realtor is the one who's going to help you figure out which improvements the buyers are willing to pay for and how much they're willing to pay for it. Because even within a certain community, a third car garage may be worth more in one neighborhood than another. So your realtor is going to help you sift through that and give you an idea of how much value to place on your home compared to the ones that have sold in the neighborhood. Another question I get a lot is people ask me, well, should I get a professional appraisal on my property? And generally my answer to that is no. And the reason why is the appraiser is looking at history, what is sold in the past in your neighborhood, whereas as a realtor, what I'm looking for is what can I market this property for? How much money can I get for this property? So my question is moving forward, and yours is as well, whereas an appraiser is looking backwards, what is sold in the past. So I prefer to look at current market trends and project out a price for your home into the future rather than looking at history. So a professional appraiser that you're going to pay $350 to $450 for really doesn't have that much value. And typically the buyer is not going to be able to use that appraisal anyway because his lender is going to want to get their own appraisal. So there's something that's not worth much. Oh, here's another trap not to fall into. I've seen sellers choose their realtor based upon the price that the realtor claims that they can get for your house. Well, unless the realtor is offering to buy the house for that price, what they are saying they can get for the house doesn't mean anything. It's the buyer who ultimately determines what price you're going to get for your home. So the realtor you choose is the realtor who is going to expose it to the most number of buyers so that you can get that best buyer. The best buyer is the one who's willing to pay the most money for your house with the best terms. Yeah, don't fall into that trap of a realtor over-promising and then under-delivering, because it's not the realtor who's buying the house, it's the buyer. So you want a great realtor who will find great buyers for your property. So there you have it. Pricing your home in a nutshell. Any questions, call me directly. I'd be happy to help you out with that. I'm at Coldwell Banker, Capital Gateway, ready to help you with your real estate needs. Thank you.